a lot of people want to write a book. They're like, I want to write a book. But they don't know that they don't really know where to start. What kind of advice would you give somebody who like kind of knows that they have it in them, but they, again, getting back to that, we are really our own worst enemies because we often are the ones who block ourselves from doing things. And so what kind of advice do you give people who have that book in them, but they don't know, like they don't have maybe the confidence to just, sit down and churn it out?
Well, if they don't know yet what they're wanting to write about, that's where I would start
Yeah.
is what is it that you have to say? Or as I like to phrase it, what must I say before I die? So if you had to really narrow it down, like if you had 1 year to live and you wanted to say something as part of your legacy or for posterity, what would it be? And other questions that you can sort of circle around to answer that is, for example, what breaks your heart? Like, what is it that moves you emotionally? What are the things that you can't ignore or that keep coming back around in your consciousness that you can't keep at bay? And, what do you care about? So that's, your heart has to be in the process because, again, that emotion gets translated into the words and onto the page. If you're, wanting to just write something and, use AI to create it, it's not going to have that same frequency. So it's really understanding what it is that moves you. It's also, looking practically speaking at your gifts. Like, what is it that what are your skills? What is your skill level? What is your voice, your writing voice? Some might be comedic, some might be sardonic, some might be, more highbrow. You have to know your voice. Um, and the third thing would be, where do you see a real need? And this is where my marketing brain comes in because my background is in corporate PR and marketing and media relations and so forth. So, which is great because books are products and you need to, as an author, need to know
Absolutely.
how to sell them.
Absolutely.
Um, so looking at what is the world's need right now and how can you fulfill that and not to get too grandiose about it where you have to do something that is completely unique and has never been done before because there's really nothing new under the sun. It's the execution of it. It's how you pull it together. Um, and it's like the clay that you mold. It's how you mold it. It's not the clay. It's how you mold it. So it's looking at things like, where is there, light or darkness present? Where is there truth missing? Where are people hurting? I feel like right now people are really starving for truth. They're starving for clarity and courage
Yeah.
and having abiding faith. And so those are the topics that I encourage people to write about because I feel like it does match the world's need right now. And that doesn't mean, again, that you have to do something really epic. It can be your own personal life story molded into higher themes that are more universal that help people understand um, again this aspect of what I call it overcoming, but it's in my own memoir I say it's not about what happens to us, it's about who we are going through it and how what we become as a result of it. So that's the
Yeah.
story is not so much what happened to me, it's how I moved through it and transformed it. And that's the inspiring part. And that's what people like to read.
Absolutely.